all. Welcome back to SAP MM interview questions. Today we will know more about the batch management. So let us start. This batch management is preferably used in pharmacy and food industries. So let us start the video. The first question is, what is a process order and how it is relevant in batch management? What is a process order and how its relevance in batch management? The answer is, a process order is used in process industries, as I said, pharmacy, chemicals, food and beverages, and so on. It is managed within the PP and PI, that is production planning for process industries. It governs the production process of a batch managed product and tracks the input and output. That means it from the raw materials to the finished goods, and it supports the regulatory compliance through the batch genealogy and the characteristics inheritance. The real example is, a paint manufacturing company uses a process order to mix the pigments and the solvents. Each raw material has their own batch numbers and the finished batch inherits the quality data via batch derivation. The process orders are essentials for the industries requiring the batch traceability. Moving on to the next question. What is the differences between batch determination and batch derivation? Batch determination is a process of selecting the appropriate batch from the inventory based on the specific selection criteria like FIFO, LIFO, expiration date, specific characteristics, typically done during the picking, delivery or the production. So batch determination nothing is but a selection logic. But whereas the batch derivation on the other hand is about transferring the characteristic values from one batch to the another. Like one will be an input, the other will be an output. Primarily used in the production or the process orders. While batch determination answers which batches to use, and it also answers what characters should be inherited by this batch. So typically the batch determination means the selection logic and the batch derivation means data inheritance. Moving on to the next question. Okay, the real time example is, the batch determination picks a raw material batch with the earliest expiry date during the order processing. It picks up the earliest expiry date since it has to go through the process wise and it has to turn out to be a finished product. The batch derivation transfer this expiry date to the final product batch. So it is, as I said, the batch derivation is the data inheritance. The batch determination is a selection logic. Moving on to the next question. What is the use of MSC1N, MSC2N, MSC3N in batch management? The answer is, the MSC1 is to create, MSC2N is to change the batch, MSC3N is to display the batch. This allows the maintenance of the batch specific data like shelf life, manufacturing date, vendor batch number and the other batch classification. These are very critical and important for batch tracking and the compliance issues. Moving on to the next question. Okay, the real time example is, after creating the GR, the quality team uses this MSC2 and T code to update the test results and the batch characteristics like moisture, potency, density and so on. So you need to update any characteristics in the batch. You should use the T code called MSC2N. Moving on to the next question. How the batch numbers are assigned automatically during the goods movement in SAP S4HANA? The answer is the batch numbers can be assigned automatically during the goods movement using the batch number assignment settings in the material master. This requires the setting the batch management indicator in the material master and configuring the batch number assignment via internal number range. This is for audit purpose also. The batch number assignment can be controlled through the movement type customization, that is the OMJJ, the shortcut for the SPRO settings. In this T code you can control the movement type and assign the batch number along with the movement type like 101, 103 and 105, where you can set the system to create the batch automatically during the specific goods movement. It can be goods issue or the goods receipt depending upon the scenario. You need to set it in the T code OMJJ. Automatic batch creation happens typically during the GR, that is the movement type 101 and 105. Like you can tick the automatic batch creation in the GR. Like 101 is the standard movement type and 105 is like you're moving out from the GR block to the unrestricted usage of the goods. So 105 is also typically a GR from the GR movement block to the typically used for the it is ready to use. So the real-time example is during the goods receipt of an order in the pharmaceutical industry, the system automatically creates the batch and it assigns the system generated batch number. Because internal number assignment is maintained in the material master and the movement type is also configured for the automatic batch creation, that is in the T code OMJJ. Thank you all. Do subscribe. I will come up with many more topics where you can crack the interview and get the job offer as soon as possible. This batch management would have helped you to understand the what and all the T codes and how or the scenarios are helpful with the batch management. And again, the batch management master data is MCHB. That is a typical data table to set the basic data of the batch numbers. You can easily see the batch numbers for all the materials or maybe specific materials are used for this batch management topic. Thank you all and do subscribe. Your subscription is a big motivation to me to come up with many more videos. Thank you once again.